o'clock.
That's it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the hour has arrived for this meeting to begin, so I call this meeting to order. And Mr. Johnson, I'm going to ask you to give the invocation.
Father, again, I thank you for allowing us to come and handle the city business. I ask you for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we make a right decision to help our people. In your name, I do pray. Bless those that are sick and those that are bereaved. In your name, I pray. Amen.
Amen. Stand pledge, please. Right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Attorney, you happen to be number one on the agenda.
I need to amend the agenda too.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we hadn't approved
We hadn't
it.
approved it yet. Yeah, okay, I'm in a hurry. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Bloodworth.
What number do you want me to add it to?
I don't know, just, what is it you got?
Spending.
Huh?
Spending.
Spending?
Yes.
Well, let's see, since he's got this and that. All right, let's make it 2A,
Do that.
right behind 2.
Thank you.
All right.
Number 1, one more, second reading of the business license ordinance.
We hadn't approved it yet.
Oh, yeah, I entertain a motion that we approve the amended agenda.
So,
Motion made, second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now, thank you. All right, now then, we're ready to start.
An ordinance of the City of Hazlehurst, Georgia to amend Chapter 4 and repeal Chapter 5.5 of the existing ordinance for licensing of businesses and professions and the regulation of certain types of businesses within the corporate limits of the city. Be it ordained and enacted by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Hazlehurst, Georgia, that Chapter 4 and Chapter 5.5 of the existing code of ordinance be repealed, amended, and reordained and enacted as follows. Chapter 4, occupations, tax, fees, and business regulations. Article 1, in general, Section 4.1, permit required for yard sales or other similar sales. Section 4.2, permit required for soliciting. Section 4.3, merchandise on sidewalks. Section 4.4, carnivals, fairs, festivals, or circuses. Section 4.5, transient merchants. Section 4.6, penalties. Section 4.7 through 4.10 are reserved. Article 2, occupational taxes and fees, occupation tax required. Section 4.11. Section 4.12, purpose and scope of tax. Article 3, insurance company and agent. Section 4-51, insurance. Insure the license fees. Section 4-52, license fees for insurers insuring certain risks at additional business locations. Section 4-53, tax imposed on all other insurers due date. Section 4-4 through Section 4-60, reserve. Article 4, cable television system. Section 4-61, regulation of rates. Section 4-62 through Section 4-70, reserve. Severability, conflicting ordinance, repealed and effective date. This being the second reading.
Okay, I entertain a motion that we approve the ordinance as read.
so moved.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Ramey and seconded by Mr. Bloodworth that we approve the ordinance as the attorney has read it. Any further discussion? I've got a question, Mr. Attorney, so that refreshing our minds, what is the principal thing that we were accomplishing when we made this modification?
I think part of it was the penalties was part of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got the ordinance here that y'all can sign before we leave.
But wait a minute, did we all vote on that now? So we make the second thing, we wouldn't have to, we have to vote yet. Okay. Are all in favor? The motion has been made by Mr. Ramey, second by Mr. Bloodworth. Now, all in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, we've got that modified.
Everybody sign that before we leave. The next is the water and sewer easement. The ordinance of the City of Hazlehurst, Georgia, to provide for regulation of the use of public and private sewers and to provide for the assumption and maintenance of privately constructed water and sewer lines throughout the City of Hazlehurst. Be it ordained that the Mayor and City Council of the City of Hazlehurst, Georgia, that Article 2 of Chapter 9 of the Code of Ordinance be deleted in its entirety and reordained as follows. Amendments. Article 2, sewer use, Division 1 in general, Section 926, title. Section 927, definition. Section 928, powers and authority of inspector, right of entry. Section 929, cessation after notice of violation. Section 930, damage to system. Section 931, violation of article provisions. Section 932, punishment for violation of chapter provisions. Section 9-33, sewer rates. Section 9-34 through Section 940 reserve. Division 2, private sewage disposal. Section 941, use of public sewers required. Section 942, private wastewater disposal. Section 943, discharge of septic tanks and sewer system. Section 944, building sewers and connections. Section 945, restricted use of public sewers. Section 946, compliance with regulatory requirements. Section 947, service charges. Section 948, authority to disconnect service. Section 949, conflict with other ordinances. Section 950 through Section 960, reserve. Division 3, private construction of water and sewer lines. Section 961, requirements for eligibility for water and sewer service. Section 962, assumption of maintenance and repair by the city of Hazlehurst. Section 963, rules, regulations, policies of water and sewage department. Section 964 through the next. Section 970, reserve. Division 4, commercial waste handling. Section 971, grease traps and acceptance for oil and sand. Severability, conflicting orders, repeal, effective date.
Okay, entertain a motion to approve the ordinance. Okay. Mr. Johnson made the motion, we approve the ordinance as read.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Rainey. Now then, I know that one of the things that we're trying to do there for this modification is the grease trap installation and regulation. But what was the other things, particularly enforcement? Again, in both cases, it defines and enforcement mostly. Yeah.
That would be some of the discussion I would have be on that. It's highly important for our people to be able to get to the meters to work on them, as well as to be able to physically read them. I think that question has been answered, but it's extremely important that they can't, you get one that's a porch that's built over the top of it, they can crawl up under the thing to be able to even see it. It's a major pain. You go to some places, they may be moved off, but they dumped all their trash, everything from a couch to everything else right on top of the meters, and the guy's got to move the trash pile before he can service the meter, or he can cut it off.
How much is, how much of that is the folks seeing it's installing these new meters?
Quite a lot.
It's
A lot of it?
more than we want.
Yes, sir.
That's got my attention to it.
What we
Together
need-
and-
what we need to do is give you examples of everything, because this ordinance provides the regulations and rules. It can be passed by the council as a rule and regulation rather than an ordinance, because it falls under the ordinance.
We're gathering pictures right now to
Okay.
give a.
Okay, right up several of these instances.
Yes, sir, we're working on it right now.
Okay, all right. Okay, well, after that, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing opposition, the second reading is approved, and those two are taken care of. Those are on the books. Okay, Mr. Bloodworth, you're next, 2A.
I would actually like to make a formal motion to implement spending freeze within the city, except for emergency only. I looked at some stuff. I was told the other day that a certain department was negative $30,000 with the budget, and I went and looked, and I went and pulled some more of my financial records and looked back again to get a clear picture. From what I looked at, we're about $800,000 over the budget, and we get a new fiscal coming up. And I honestly believe to tackle that, the only way that we're going to be able to do anything with it is to implement a spending freeze. And, you know, I can't, in good conscience, vote to increase taxes at all until some of that is sorted out. We have a serious problem coming up, and I think if we get a jump on it and do what we got to do and tighten the belt a little bit, I believe it'll help us out tremendously.
Formal motion.
Yes.
Okay. This is the second, Ken.
I've got a motion and a second that we freeze spending. All right, now then, what about the departments, say, we'd say the fire department, they always stay within budget, so they've got the budget that's been approved and they're fine. But now all, except for water and sewer, the street department, the police department, in other words, what kind of emergency is gonna come up that, you just?
Well, I think the police department actually fits under the emergency category until we get back on our feet. And as far as the emergency and other departments, I mean, I think they need to operate with what they're budgeted as of right now. But no more money needs to be spent. Also too, during this spending freeze, if an emergency arises or something does need to be spent, I would like to see it come before full council. And full council together with the mayor, look at it and come up with a solution to the emergency.
You folks run the show, y'all can do what you wanna do.
Well, if, the things of, like water and street both, emergency examples, if we got a fountain that, you got a spring
Sure.
that pops up, we gotta handle it, then. That's just a given. Street, being the same thing, if you've got a cave in somewhere that you've got a dangerous situation, that's emergency stuff. It's gotta be taken care of.
I'd say emergency would be a garbage truck. If you don't go by somebody's house and pick up the garbage, that's an emergency. The limb truck.
Yes, services have to keep running.
Yes, sir, keep running.
But I don't know anything else we're spending, to tell you the truth.
Well, we got some projects going on. I know some are coming out of different other funds, but we do need to implement a freeze until we can get this deficit down.
Well, I think probably one question that you got, and maybe I need to make some explanation on that, but we've got a telephone tower downtown that generates about 1,000, or I think it's going up some a month. The hospital over here is a rental income. The hospital rents it for around $1,300 a month. The probation people pay about $650 for that one, and we've got the juvenile justice people now. The county commissioners put them out, and now they're wanting to maybe I look up juvenile justice perhaps over here, or the senior adult probation people are up there as well. So right now we've got that investment in that building over there, and we've got the building fund. That's not coming out of the city budget or taxpayers' money anywhere. If we can get that little project that you're looking at over there finished, we can probably get $2,000 a month out of that thing, so we can recover our money in a hurry. And I'm doing my best to do that. Even if they don't finish it, the hospital is looking at perhaps using it. And this is not coming out of the budget. And I think you're playing with something that's you're biting yourself in the back.
I don't see how I'm biting myself in the back. With
That money can't be used for the things you want.
$800,000 right here.
Oh, I agree with you. Okay, I'm with you.
That's the only thing biting me in the back.
Okay, it's biting me too.
I think if we start right now and go ahead and get ahead of ourselves and handle it now, I believe it helps.
But here's the thing now, where I'm sitting and where Chris is and Chief Walston back there, something's gonna come up, and the council voted to freeze on spending, and an emergency comes up. Now, who's gonna make that decision? We're gonna have to call a meeting?
It ought to come to council. And if it's an emergency, like I said, you got a fountain spurting up in the middle of the street, if we can figure that one out, we got to get it taken care of immediately.
Well, you think you and Chris gonna make that decision, or you're gonna call the council?
I have a problem that the department makes that decision and get something like that done. You've got a situation that you got a fountain going in the middle of a leak, right in the middle of the street. It's got to be taken care of then. You got a cave in the street. It's out there.
I'm for it now. Here again, we're fixing to get into this real serious. That's right. I'm not against that.
Right.
I want you to know that. But the only thing you got to do, you got to operate at the city now. You know, we're sitting up here and have to call a meeting to get some more emergency handle.
One question, when are we gonna start with the actual hearings, with the budget hearings?
As soon as we can get them all in, and I add up all the budgets and add up all the revenue, then we're gonna get together and I'm gonna lay it down. Here it is.
So all the department heads hadn't turned theirs in?
No. I think Watson's got his ready, haven't you?
I just got to reformat it, but I'm through with it. Yes.
Well, and we've just got yours turned in today. I've got one.
Just mine.
Water and sewer's closed. We should have it down.
We're close. But,
You're asking about the public hearings. And we normally
Not
hold.
the public, I'm talking about us. Sitting down talking about the budget. That's what John-
Well, you said public hearings and,
No, I'm
and
sorry, I
that's
didn't
fine,
mean
that's
that.
fine. But that's normally held about mid-June.
Yeah, and I'm talking about us. What we actually started working on, what the commissioner is talking about with us, is 800,000. When are we gonna, we need to set a date. Can we set a date that these department heads have that money and get it in?
You talking about the proposed budget?
Yes.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get them in, let them be
It's ready to turn in.
Before we go to this drastic, well, it ain't no drastic thing, you just have to stop spending. Before we go to that, can we set a date that they have to have it in, and we sit down and go ahead and address it before we completely cut it off?
I'm with you all the way, but what,
And talk to them now, each department here. Well, I'm gonna be honest with you now, I just signed some sheets the other day till I said, whoa, wait a minute. And it was close to over, well, it was some money, and it was to fix trucks and things. And I said, yeah, but now where did all this come from all of a sudden? If you got to have it, do it, but if you ain't, so I stopped mine today. I said, unless you got to, we're not fixing anything else until after the council and the mayor and the council, talk about it.
I know we've talked about increasing taxes.
Well-
I understand that, but I would rather show the people that
Oh,
we're
yeah.
trying to take another
Oh, yeah.
measure before we do that. You know what I'm saying? And then try to get a jump on it before the next fiscal comes in.
Yeah.
And we'll be ahead of the game. And I ain't so sure we would need to do that another time during the year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I think we
see,
need to.
see,
We
here's,
should review our budgets at,
we
mid-March
won't,
anyway.
we've only got 2 department heads in here now. Let me tell you folks, and I don't know what else to do. These, tell me one of those requisitions you just had me sign right there. Just any one, just the top one, blue fine. Now, in this particular case, Water and Sewer has brought this in, a requisition. But usually, and this is dated 5/18 today, a requisition for a purchase here. All right? Usually, when I see this, to put my name on it, there's an invoice attached to it. 3 months ago, it was ordered.
Right.
And we owe it. And the people are calling and wanting to know, Mayor, I did something March the 15th, and I'm not, and now I'm just seeing the requisition. So I want you to know, my hands tied, I can't,
I think
That's
that's
the
the
kind
thing
of
that
stuff
John
we're gonna
and, yeah, that we've been trying to stop all the
well,
time.
I'm ready for you to stop it. Put that button, just stop it.
Well, now, I know Kim took the initiative this week, okay?
It's already been
Yeah,
done.
it needs to be done. It's past time.
Kim took the initiative this week with some of these people that send in the bills. She's gonna get them emailed to her, okay? She's going to get it to the department head. She's going to keep up with it on the calendar. If it ain't turned in within the next 7 days, she's gonna be following up, and she's gonna be letting some of y'all on the council know. Cause she's tired of it coming in from March or May or whatever day it is, 3 months later.
I think that sounds good.
Okay, we got a motion and a second on the floor that we,
Interrupting me.
John,
I'm sorry.
We've got to be able to get a handle on this, and what you're saying is that we'll put a freeze on it. We're going to show the public that we are doing something at the city, trying to get a handle on our spending
Absolutely.
before we have to do anything with raising
Absolutely.
any taxes. So, yes, I support this. I did with the second.
And listen, it's just tightening the belt to get ahead, but I'm gonna tell you, if we don't address it right now, and we start doing this 2 months later, it's gonna be more heartburn on us.
I think then what we're gonna have to do, I'm for it now.
I feel you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But now, here's the thing I'm thinking, when that bundle, there's a bundle of checks waiting on my signature in there now. I think we need to, used to, I believe there was a check register put out for checks. I think before I sign those checks, it needs to come in front of these, front of you council, and I'll get a list of them, and you go through them. And you approve what ones you want me to sign and the ones you don't. And then but I think that I can help you a lot by not signing the damn check until y'all come in and put an approval on it. And I'll certainly take the monkey off of my back.
Well, part of that is what he just mentioned. If we have things that's already been done, we owe it to him.
Right, you need to go, I would say anything that's already processed up to this date, pay it out. Anything after this date, freeze it.
Well, me too, I'm for it. I'm for it. In fact, y'all got me to the point now, I think I'm not gonna sign any more checks till y'all approve it.
Well, we just say
We just said if it's something that we have done, if we have already got an activity and purchased it, and it's time to sign the check, you gotta sign the check.
And it's time to show the people if we're going to.
Okay, so if an invoice comes in that's before the day's 5/18, right? If an invoice comes in and the person's still done something to a police car or to a pump or something
Pay it.
before 5/18,
Pay it.
pay the bill. But from now on,
Starting 5/19.
5/19, okay, all right, that's gonna, okay, that's gonna get where, Chief Watson and Chris and Conrad and those, that's where that's gonna have to be handled. Because if they make a purchase after then I can't sign the check.
And then they can bring it to council and we can approve it if it's necessary.
That simplifies it a lot. So you're telling me that that's gonna help a little bit. I wouldn't care if you tell me not to sign the others, but then y'all gonna have to add it.
Yeah, we need to pay what we already paid.
Okay, all right.
It's done.
Okay,
You gotta
all
pay
right.
for it.
So now, will you help me relay that to Ms. Carter?
Yes, sir.
That
We got-
when she's writing checks, paying
Chief
invoices.
had his hand up back there, you might won't recognize it.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are y'all gonna put a money figure on that? We
What?
talking about $5.43? If you go buy something, it's $5.43? Or are we talking about a certain amount of money?
You know, I was actually
that's-
talking about implementing a spending freeze period.
No money at all.
No money at all. Unless it's an emergency that is something, you know, if it's a breathing apparatus or something, that's an emergency. You know what I'm saying? Or something related.
You got a engine that goes down or whatever, you got to get that.
Right.
But now do I have to wait till I come to y'all before I can get that fixed?
Yes, sir, because I'm not gonna sign
So I'm
it.
sitting in a fire, I got a fire truck that's down that puts me, I have only 2 engines in the city, so that puts me down to 1 engine in the city. And it's tore up and sitting on the side of the road, so I can't get it fixed without having a meeting with
You
John.
don't wait till the next council meeting to get that done. that classifies that as an
We
emergency.
know how to make 5 calls at one time.
We can do that.
You see what I'm saying? It can be done like that.
I think what needs to happen, and I'm not against this, but I think y'all need to communicate with the department heads and tell us what your expectations are. So we know what to do, because spending freeze, we're thinking, stop everything. So if tomorrow I have an issue with a truck, I can't fix it. It's just gotta sit side of the road. And
That's what my.
when I have another fire, if I have another
That's a
fire
different
in 30
situation.
minutes, then there's
That's
a
a
problem.
different situation now. I'm not talking about anything that is needed, that you need an emergency time.
But if I have that happen, I can fix it.
Right.
Right.
Okay, I don't have to call and say, hey, I got to get it fixed,
I
and
think
it
that
take 2
you,
hours.
I think you know what constitutes an emergency.
That's a
Oh, I know that, but
situation there.
I want to make sure I'm
I
clear
don't
on it.
mind the department head having that autonomy as long as they use that autonomy
Right,
to follow the stream.
right.
I have 2 questions before y'all vote. Is this indefinite?
I would say 3 months.
It should be until after we completed, or well, after the time that we completed the budgetary, and it would open back up.
Yeah, I would say 3-month period.
And the $800,000, is that citywide or general fund?
Citywide.
That's all. Thank you.
Okay, well, I think we've heartened to death that your motion is freeze all spending.
Got a hand back there.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So I know there's some holidays coming up.
I don't know what the city do for the 4th of July and those various of things. that the
County
city-
handles it,
Who does?
county.
The county handles that? Splash pads finna open up. I know the situation, we was talking about it. If something needs to be done, I don't consider it as an emergency, but something that needs to be taken care of.
To be honest with you, that's a non-essential item to me, and I would believe that would need to be one of those things where money not spent.
Money should be spent on it. Okay. So that's what I'm asking on those various of things, because things are gonna come up with that. And we understand that, right? So just making sure that everybody understands exactly.
We got ourselves in trouble, and we're trying to get out of it
Okay.
without raising taxes.
Okay.
Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, we're gonna have to have a show of hands here. By another lifted hand, one or the other, doesn't matter. So, all in favor, raise your hand. Mr. Johnson votes in favor, Mr. Rainey votes in favor, Mr. Bloodworth votes in favor, and the mayor joins.
Thank you all.
I still want to go ahead and do something about us starting our budget with the department here. Go ahead and put a date on the department and get their budgets in there, or we can go ahead and start doing it now.
Well, we're gonna have to have a call meeting or two to handle it.
This is supposed to be taking place, I think the budgetary thing comes at the end of June, does it
Yeah,
not?
next month, yeah, we have.
So, if you want to get them in at least, by June 15th.
Oh, no, we gotta have them
It
before
would
then.
be better to have these before.
Monday afternoon.
29.
Why not say May 29th? That's the day after Memorial Day. That's the Monday after Memorial Day.
That's good.
Okay, make that formal motion that all department head budgets are to be in by what date?
May 20, May 29.
May 29th.
Oh, okay.
I asked it all for motion.
Let me double check that, May 29.
Yeah. All right, we got a motion by Mr. Johnson,
That they be in by May
May
29th.
29th, second by Mr. Bloodworth. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing opposition, all department heads be sure to notify those that aren't here that their budgets are to be in no later than May the 29th. And then I'll start, I'd say within a week's time, I'll have all the totals of revenue and what y'all have submitted ready to call a meeting. Okay, let's move on. What's next?
Watershed, number 3.
Watershed assessment monitoring report. Is everybody got I looked at that
Yes.
Monday. Have y'all looked at that right now?
Right.
Okay. Oh, all in favor of approving the watershed assessment monitoring report?
I'm sorry.
It's already been,
Okay.
In favor of approving
One already done.
this report, say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that's approved. All right, let's move on. Okay, now then, Monday night, I was quite confused because the rules that were handed to me was that the city that was only authorized to deal with items, appointees in items 6 and 7, and the appointee that we're dealing with tonight is actually item 5. So I went to the health department. One set of rules said we weren't supposed to deal with item 5. So at any rate, they said there's just an error in those two. And what's there is that, I think this has already been in the works for a while, but Mr. Oscar Hewlett, his name has been suggested to fill the position number 5, consumer, pardon?
Number 4, I think.
Number 5.
no, it's number 9.
It's 4 on my paper.
Let me see it.
It's 4 on mine.
Oh, he's looking at
We
it.
had to see later.
The thing right below it.
He's looking at the position
Oh,
on the.
Okay.
It's number,
It'll be on,
well, that's
you're
item
talking
number
about
4,
that
but I'm
thing.
talking about.
I see what you're
Position
talking
number
about.
5. Number 5 is the position that's being filled.
Okay. I move that we accept the nomination of Oscar Hewitt.
Motion's been made that we accept it and seconded by Mr. Bloodworth. Any now, any further discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Hearing no opposition, the motion is carried. Chief Wasden, I believe you want to discuss number 5, Fire Safety Symposium in Forsyth.
Yes, sir, I don't know if y'all would call that an emergency or not.
Well, you know, I've got, the next item is for, the chief and 2 officers to go to this Georgia school safety, but it was already paid for prior to.
Okay, mine wasn't. Well, matter of fact, I take that back. We did pay it, 2 for the city and 2 for the county last
And
week.
you used to be allowed to go.
So, we paid on credit card. But then we've secured the rooms, but haven't paid that. The county's paying for 1 room, the city's paying for 1 room. So this is mandatory training for my folks in order to keep their fire inspector certification and their public safety educator association training. They got to go to this
Now,
conference.
there again, he said another key word, mandatory.
That could fall right
Right.
into,
You
the
can't,
same type
yeah,
thing.
you can't
That
have-
mandatory, you got to have it, we have no choice. I have no problem.
And
I
I
it's approved.
it's in the budget. I mean, I have the money in those accounts. to
I
pay
knew
for
what
it.
you did, that would be,
So-
All right,
I made the motion that it be approved.
Second.
The symposium, Fire Safety Symposium in Forsyth, as requested by Chief Wasden. We've got a motion and a second that it be approved. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, I call for the vote. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Hearing no opposition, motion carried, Chief.
One other thing real quick, just for information only, I need to let y'all know that I have a group of city and county firefighters that will be going to New Mexico in June. That is at no cost to the city at all, but I just let you know they're going to be there, and they will, if something would have happened, they would be under our liability, but I mean, they're going to be going out to some bomb training, and I think it's June the 4th, 12th through the 16th, I believe, is the dates on it. So there's a
Be covered suicide bombers.
Yes, sir. And it's gonna be, there's actually more county volunteers going than there are city folks this time, so that's good. Just for information on that. Thanks.
Sorry about that. Okay, down in your next, Mr. Bloodworth.
Chief Williams and, 2 of the school resource officers had a, conference, Georgia School Safety and Homeland Security Conference, June 19th to the 21st. Like I said, the school has paid for that. The hotel and meals is what the city would be responsible for. And being the school has already paid the registration, I'm asking that they attend this conference.
Ask it and, state a motion, is that right?
Yes.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Bloodworth, seconded by Mr. Ramey, that the chief and 2 school resource officers go to this training, school safety training in Athens on June the 19th to the 21st. Any further discussion about it? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Excuse me, any opposed? Hearing none, the motion is carried. Excuse me. All right. I've got the report number 7 on the activity of the police department this month.
That's
That's
information.
information only.
I understand that. I say you've got that report. All right, now then, we're dealing now with number 8, the minutes, the
Water adjustment.
water and sewer adjustments, and the, okay, we've got to handle that separately. Okay, let's now put 8 and 9 together and entertain a motion. We approve those 2.
I'll make a motion.
Motion made and seconded that we approve 8 and 9. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion is carried. Now we're the five-year statement and the, no, we're now on 10. We're talking about perhaps changing the city council meeting. Wait a minute.
The report to council is number 10.
Okay. Well, when we, you didn't put the thing, we're going to change the.
No, he's gonna mention that in the
Oh, we're going to
comments.
mention that in comments, okay. All right, let's also then include the report to council of ending March. I thought that was the month change we were about to get into. All in favor of the report that you got on your desk, I entertain a motion that we approve number 10.
Make a motion.
Mr. Bubba made the motion, seconded by Mr. Raymond, we approve that as well, and there's copies of that on their desk. All right, all in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that's taken care of. Now then, financial statements and the check registers. All right. Entertain a motion, we approve that.
So moved.
Motion made by Mr. Ramey and seconded by Mr. Johnson. All in, any questions about it? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion's carried. Citizens' comments. Yes, sir.
Got a comment, or some comments. How y'all doing this evening? All right, those that know me, I'm Chris Jones, right? It's got a couple different things, right? I know we was talking about halting spending and stuff like that, and that's fine. I'm not here for money, okay? But I'm here to inform everybody on which Councilman Blower, I see you got one, I got one right here, right? Earth Water Beverage LLC. It's a new business that has opened up in the city.
May I say something on it?
Oh.
Best water I've ever drank.
We heard that a lot. If you have not tasted it yet, around here, I would say most of the people that I've talked to, they said it's like you're going up in a mountain, wherever it would be, and you take a cup, and you run it, and you taste it, and that's what it tastes like. A bunch of health benefits with it as well. But before I get to that, I want to just put a little informative information out, right? We're talking about Earth Water Beverage LLC and Cotton Patch Extreme. We'll be hosting an event on May 26th. And it's going to be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's going to be called Senior Hangout Celebration Day. On this day here, between Appleton County and Jeff Davis County Nursing Home and the Appleton County and Jeff Davis senior centers that they have, I'm looking at joining that together, and we're going to call it, Senior Hangout Celebration Day. On that, we'll have food, games, and fishing. The menu will be barbecue, chicken, potato salad, baked beans, and those various of things. We also have another lady that's going to be there that's going to donate some time. Her name is Cynthia Sanders. She's just, she used to be here in Hazelhurst. She kind of went away, then now she's back in Baxley. What she has to offer is different type of massages that help blood circulation and those various of things for the elderly, things like that. So the fee to come to this event is $0. Right now we're expecting about 100, 120. That's including the patrons and the caregivers, the people that volunteer, or the ones that's on, however they do their pay, right?
Don't have different vendors out there.
So this is not necessarily a vendor event, but if we have vendors who would like to come out to donate their time and their service, that's what we're doing. We're not paying for anything. Everything that we're doing, like the fishing, the worms, crickets, whatever else, is donated. The chicken is donated with time and those various of things. It costs nothing. But if the city would like to donate something, which I know we're not, right? And it is donate, but that's what this is for. And we're looking at doing it quarterly.
Where is the location of
At the Cotton Patch Extreme.
Okay.
In the county.
Yes, down there the river.
That is, well,
Where their residents.
that is correct. That is correct. And it's open for everyone to attend. We really want the seniors to be out there. It's wheelchair accessible, it's handicap accessible, whatever we want to call it. We got volunteers that'll be there. We got to help assist with baiting hooks and those various of things. So it's going to be I think it's going to be a very, very good event. We also have, if anybody from the council would like to show up, and wherever else, we also have, just let us know what your t-shirt size is. We got t-shirts that we're giving out as well to have for that day as well. And if, like I said again, if you have any, whoever listening to this or have any idea that they may want to participate, and funds that we do get, to say we get funds for this event, what we'll do with them is that we'll give them up to those 4 places so they can have something for the Thanksgiving time period and the Christmas. So, nursing home, not too many people get out there to see their loved ones and stuff like that. So we just want to make it really, really good for them, right? Because, time is getting shorter and shorter as we go along. So just wanted to put that out, right? And so that's on the business side. Like I said, this water here, my very first time tasting this water actually was in Afghanistan. It was in 2013. The Vessi, which I have here, and the Iskra, I-S-K-A. A lot of the water was given out in the European region. This is the first time that this water has hit the USA.
Well, I can't tell you how much I've talked and bragged about this water because it is good water. And you see I drink.
Yes, sir. Okay, so that was just a big thing of me putting out. And also the last thing, I don't want to take too much of your time. I don't know if it's too early to do it now or what, right? But I am, I say officially, you can write that on paper if you want. I'm going to announce my candidacy for Ward 3, and I will be running for City Council this year. So look out for the support, and hopefully I can make a difference, and we'll see. Not that difference not being made now, but maybe I can improve on something. So,
Thank you.
All right. That's
What was
it.
the time on this event?
Oh, so it's like I said again, it's gonna be May 26th, and that's the day of graduation. My son, he graduates this year as well, but it's gonna be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
You can have them after 1 o'clock.
Congratulations.
And the reason I say that, Chris, we're having an employee appreciation luncheon on the 26th at the Civic Center at 12 o'clock.
Oh, y'all
So
are.
yes. So you can have them after 1. I'll make sure they get
Okay
out.
for that stuff, Harvey?
Yes.
Yeah, just taken care of. Yes.
Okay, but yeah, so, and come out, hang out, whatever it may be, just the support would be greatly appreciated.
To clarify something, when you said seniors, high school seniors or elderly seniors?
Yes, ma'am, it's elderly, I'm sorry.
Okay, very good. Thank you,
All right.
sir.
I resemble that a lot, but I'm not in the home except my home.
All right, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, we'll get that here in a minute. Let's get through. I think we got another one out here.
Casey Williams, Southern Technology Partners. Of course, y'all all know who I am. I just have a quick question regarding the spending freeze that you guys just passed. As I'm sure most of you are aware, Southern Technology Partners, we're a vendor, does business with the city on quite a regular basis, and we handle all of your cybersecurity, your patching, all of that on your PCs. Basically compliance and things like that also for the police department so they can meet GCIC and CJIS compliance. How will that spending freeze affect, of course it will affect any project work that may or may not have been coming up. That's understandable. That's totally clear. But as far as the monthly services that we currently contribute to the city for the cybersecurity protections in that way, doing all the patching and the typical preventative maintenance on PCs and infrastructure, and also data backups on servers, how is that going to
I think
affect
that
those?
something like that is still has to be.
That's already in
I
process.
completely
Agree, yeah, that's why I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
Appreciate the question, because
Okay.
it's a little on the vague side, but that's something that's taking place.
We can't let our
It's
fire.
contract, yeah.
Right, yeah,
Right.
that's why I wanted clarification. I just wanted to. All
Firewall
right, appreciate y'all.
That good enough? Okay, thank you. All right, anything else from the group out here? Okay, Mr. Bernie, we're gonna let you be first.
Two things. One, on the bid proposal, the package, y'all talked about having the bid extended to August. Actually, we have to run the ad one time. You cannot run it more than 60 days before the bids. So I've got everything ready to go, and I've got a date of, if we open the bids on July the 17th, which is a meeting in July, it's under 60 days, it's close to 60 days, so, unless y'all wanna wait to run that.
That's good enough, we just picked that out of the
Under
air.
the law, you have to run that one time, and it can't be less than 15 days, no more than 60 days.
Okay, that'll put us with, all we did was pull that out of the air, just sort of give it time.
All right, so I've got that ready to go, I'll give the clerk next week, we'll get it published. Second thing is the landfill that never dies. Emerson evidently is being bought out or selling a lot of its assets to some other company. They contacted me last week, and they want to know if we object and everybody else that's involved objects to the transfer of the assets and the liabilities and everything. My thought is we follow the lead of the lead attorneys in this, more environmentally sound that I am, I'll say, to that standpoint. That's what we can do in the future. I'm waiting to hear from them. But if they say, yeah, we're fine with it, I think the city should go along with it too. So.
Okay, let's handle this right now. The attorney has mentioned, and y'all know what we're talking about?
Yeah.
I said when that thing came in, I said, we'll never live long enough to see the end of it. And I made that remark about 50 minutes. But, and we're still dealing with it all the time. They're in and out of here every time we turn around. So I entertain a motion, counsel carefully now. Mr. Attorney has brought this up. I entertain a motion that we let our attorney handle the disposition of Emerson Electric that's involved with this landfill problem. We give him the authority to handle this on our behalf.
So moved.
Motion is made by Mr. Ramey, seconded by Mr. Johnson. Now then, all in favor of the motion? I mean, no, let's go, any discussion, any questions about it?
Yeah, my personal opinion is I said years ago that we should have went legal things and got out of it. And I still think y'all would take them to court and lead through it.
Well, there was no way in hell to get out of it.
We sure would.
Huh? Wish you'd told us.
At that time,
How?
a long time before, I think the city was trying to be nice, and they really shouldn't have been, caught up in it. This was when we were down at the old city hall. But anyway, that's.
That was before my time. But
That's what I'm saying.
Well, let Mr.
I thought you said.
No, that's all I was trying to tell you. It was way before any of y'all time. And some of those attorneys then didn't want to do it. They wanted to keep in. I said, no, guys, y'all just pay the thing and get out of it. But we kept doing, and some of the business wasn't even doing it. So it's neither, ain't no use of talking about it now.
Go ahead, Mr. Attorney.
As I say, that was before my time as city attorney, but the law is if you own the land, you're liable for what's in it. And that's why the city stuck with it. That way the city could have got out of it that I know of. That's why you see a lot of abandoned service stations around, the old ones. Nobody wants them. I have a client, his corporation can't give a tract away because of liability.
Liability that goes with it, yeah. I don't know what'll ever become of it. It's, I said back, I was the mayor when that thing came in there. It was,
What was interesting, they sent the new map that shows where they test the various levels of stuff. And it was interesting to me, a lot of areas have cleaned up a lot, except one particular hot spot looks like, so they may be making progress.
well, maybe it will, but I don't think it'll ever go away. We got a motion on the floor to authorize our attorney to handle this, the Emerson sale, and as it relates to us on this matter. Any further discussion about it? Hearing none, call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing opposition, Mr. Attorney, if you will, handle it for us. Okay, counsel, who's first?
To remind council, May the 26th, 12 o'clock noon at the Civic Center, we will have an employee appreciation luncheon, hamburgers, hot dogs, slaw, baked beans. I need you all on board to grill, and let's get this together. The food and fellowship.
Where's your money coming from for that now? Where's the money coming from for that?
Y'all said y'all help me with it come Monday.
I read it out of our pockets. I thought it was already paid for.
The food is not.
Oh, but we're going to donate.
I've already donated a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I volunteered my wife to make the slaughter. She hadn't shot me yet, but
I'm just tired of saying something's gonna be done for the employees. We'll do it, we'll do it, we'll do it, and nothing's been done for them for 2 years.
And it needs to be done for.
For 2 years.
Appreciate it. I agree.
Okay, we need to pass the hat and take it, you have any idea what it will cost there?
I would say the food is probably going to be less than $200.
Okay, we need to throw in a little money.
Y'all can do that next week, not tonight.
Right.
Also, the last item I have, you have in front of you a signage for the Antioch Cemetery. If you remember, y'all voted 3 months ago when Mr. Wilton Miles was here to purchase a sign. I checked with the Georgia Correctional Industries about the signage. It is going to be on aluminum and it's going to be a reflective prismatic sign, okay? It will be printed on both sides, $103.65. That includes printing and shipping. That was already approved and y'all said y'all would purchase it.
I think this was approved about 3 months ago.
3 or 4 months ago, it was approved.
And I was asked to begin work.
Sign.
I was asked to begin work on it and I got this today.
Very good, let's look at the sign. Okay, who else? Mr. Ramey, I believe you.
I had asked on a Monday meeting for us all to look at the calendar and being able to reschedule our next month's meeting. And I would ask for suggestions on doing that. As we looked at it, at rescheduling, my primary time, I would be gone from the day that we have our first meeting of the 12th, and again on that Thursday, because I'll be one of the ones that will be in New Mexico. But this is budgetary times, and I requested that y'all look at it, and I would love to be here for budgetary assistance and helping with anything
I thought we considered doing it the week before.
The week before, I think we talked about it, and I asked everybody to look at it. And the week before would, I think would be, let's see, if we did that the week before, that would be the 5th, is that right?
Yes.
All right, the 5th, I have no problems with that. Is anybody else?
So we would do the 5th and the 8th.
5th and the 8th.
I don't have a conflict with
Well, see, now we've got the, I don't either, but make sure that everybody understands where we are now. What was the date now, the 29th, not next week?
12th.
What's the
that.
date?
May 29th was the,
May the 29th is the date that all that's gotta be in. All right, then, that week, well, we might can double up some of this, make be a right long meeting. When you get this down, I don't want to, I just can't imagine the detailed work we're gonna have to do with our pen and pencil and all to, see, Monday you're talking about having a work session on the 5th. Well, that's right about the time we I'm gonna try to have a call meeting, that week, but anyway, we'll make it work just fine with me.
let me ask you this, Mayor. On that 22nd, is everybody far along enough that they could have it turned in on the 22nd? I know ours is ready.
You mean if you thought it's coming Monday?
Yes, sir.
Well, I don't know.
I'm good.
Great.
Think I can.
You want to do the 22nd?
I don't think they're gonna have all this stuff ready. I'm gonna have to have these 2 or 3 that, but yeah.
What
I
about
don't want to
24th?
put something they can't meet.
What about the 24th?
I think that should give them ample time. It should. And then we could have the call meeting, the first week of June, okay. Yeah, I mean, the sooner we get at it, the better with me now.
So y'all wanna change it from the 29th to the 24th?
Okay, all right, that means then I can get hustling, and by maybe one day next week, either the first or second day of June or something, we'll probably have a call meeting before we get into these two meetings. Okay, that suits me, the earlier the better.
But it's about 24.
All right.
Sounds good. And don't we need a motion to change the meeting?
Yes.
The-
Yes.
I entertain a motion that we change our deadline for department heads submitting their budget from the 29th of May to the 24th.
And then the meeting changed from,
Wait a minute, this,
One at a time, I guess.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
Now, you entertain a motion that we change that meeting
I'll
date.
promote.
I mean, that deadline date for submitting the name. Motion is made by who? Mr.
Dwayne,
Dwayne,
second.
and you seconded, okay? Any discussion about it? It shouldn't be with this. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we've moved the date. Now then, to change our regular meeting for the month of June to it'll be the first week in June. The work session will be on the 5th, and the regular session will be on the 8th.
Make a motion.
Right. You make the motion.
Yes, sir. I'll make a
All right,
motion.
there's a second by Mr. Rainey. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Our meeting date for the month of June has been changed to the first week in May, June. All right, what else? Council?
Not this Saturday, but the next Saturday. What is that date? I don't put no more.
Not this Saturday, let's see, this is, we can
It's
check
gonna
on
be the 27th.
That, the 27th, they are supposed to have, we've already got the permit, to have a thing up there at the park. The city has gotten it, I mean, it's really nice, and I appreciate it. They've got it ready. It's supposed to be a big thing, and don't ask me how many is coming, because they talk like it's 30 or 40 teams supposed to be up there. And they having a whole lot of things for kids that was left over from the Easter, and then they bringing other foods and things in with churches. So they're coming in. I don't see how I could do it, so I didn't bring it to the council. They're wanting either to slow down the traffic coming off of MLK going through the government, or being able to close that street off up to the Stadium Drive. So the children going back and forth to the gym and over there, they just don't want people driving down there through there real fast. They think it's gonna be that many people.
Well, do you want to close the street?
I don't think you can close the whole street because of the house is on the end, just the street from Stadium Drive up to MLK, to through traffic.
Through traffic, you know.
Yeah. But they can
So
go
the people
around.
on the other end on the other side of Stadium Drive there on that street, they can come in,
On
in
Berkman,
Berkman.
yes.
And but they're actually at the end of the park,
Yeah.
close it off there.
Yeah.
So that the park, the street in front of the park and and your youth center,
Yeah.
to close it off.
Yeah.
I think, John, can you tell the chief that's what
Yes, sir.
all in favor of doing that, say aye.
Uh,
Any opposed? Hearing not, we will approve you to close off that section.
Appreciate it.
And tell me that section again, and it's 27th,
27. And it's gonna be from,
Stadium Drive to MLK.
right.
Okay.
And I think the time is supposed to be around 10 to about 4 or 5, something like
But
that.
you would want the street blocked earlier than that.
Why? I mean, seriously, I don't see why you would need it.
You don't think so?
No,
There
just
would
when.
be children out there running around and stuff, so getting ready.
Well,
Yeah, probably best.
you have a bunch of them.
Well, y'all look at y'all now.
Would it?
Yeah. Okay, anything else? We're working good, we're right on time. Mr. Johnson, it's time for your motion.
I'll promote you.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, that we adjourn. All in favor say aye.
All right.
Okay.
I got to be on the scene.